Hello everybody, my name is Queen Lachey. If you are new here, welcome! So today I am going to be showing you guys one of my mommy on the go makeup looks. I'm a mother of four, so I am literally always on the go. And sometimes I just like a little glam just to jazz it up. So today I'm going to be showing you my favorite products that I use. It's not very many. I try to keep it very simple, especially when you are literally needing to get ready, needing to get out the door. This is going to be a quick and easy look. I am going to take my time just to show you guys step by step what I do and how I apply my makeup and how we can get this quick and easy mommy on the go look, because mama's got to look good too, not just the babies, not just the hubbies. So let's get into this look. See y'all in a second. Okay, so first things first is primer. Primer is a must. I am an oily girly. This is my holy grail. I do also use the Danessa Myricks water powder serum, but I need to actually go pick up some more. So today we are just going to be using the e.l.f. Grip Primer. I applied this to the areas where I am oily the most. So pretty much here, I'll apply it like so. I already have primer on. I put it on before I started filming. But I'm pretty much oily here. T-zone, I'll apply here. And then I'm also oily here. So it's actually already on my face. I've let it sit for a while. So we're gonna move on to brows. I like to match my brows to my hair. It's just something that I like to do. Don't ask me why, I just like to do it. So I am going to brush up my brows. I try to groom them a little bit for you guys, so hopefully this turns out how we want it to. Okay, all brushed up. So I'm going to be using 3 items today. Well, maybe 4 items today when I'm doing my brows. And this is not something that you necessarily have to do, especially if it's a look that you're trying to just do quick, easy, and fast. You honestly can skip this step if you don't want to match your brows to your hair. If your hair is a different color, you don't have to do this. But this is something that I prefer, especially at this time, because my hair is like a reddish, auburn, brown. It's a bunch of different colors. So I do like to use the Milani Gilded Mini. I absolutely love this palette. This is also good if you want to just keep your look simple, especially for your eyes. They have a lot of warm neutrals in here that are fire to use. And we're going to be using these lovely pencils. I believe these are from Amazon. I'll actually link everything below. But I use these 2 shades to kind of mix, because I don't want the color to just look like it's just one dimension. I want to give you a little bit of sauce up in it. So we are going to start off with the Milani palette. Now we're going to be using like this reddish brown color that's on the very end. I'm going to be taking my angled brush, and this is from Sonia Kashuk. Love Sonia Kashuk brushes down. And I hope that I'm actually pronouncing her last name correct. But I like to go in just with a little bit of the brown. And I like to just lightly brush in the color and just fill in certain areas where I would like that color to necessarily be. There's a method to my madness, so just bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. And please have a light hand when doing this. Do not go in doing this heavy hand, because you will definitely be upset when doing so. So I just like to fill it in, brush it up, fill it in, brush it up, and that just kind of disperses the product through the brows. And it just gives it that more natural look, because I don't want the product to necessarily sit in place. So you just honestly repeat these steps to get the achieved look that you like. And I'm probably gonna add just a little bit more to the front of this brow. My brows have actually been driving me extremely nuts. because the front of one looks bomb and the other one I just don't know what it's doing. So I always have to do extreme work when it comes to my brows. So to define the bottom, I still like to use the color that's closest to my natural brow color. And I'm just gonna honestly use the e.l.f. Pencil. So I'm just going to define on the bottom, just the bottom. And I'll probably define the top as well. And I still like to brush the product into my brow because I want it to look as natural as possible, because it's not a full glam look. I want it to look effortless and I want my brows to look a little bit more natural. So I am going to definitely keep a light hand through this process. So you just follow the natural shape of your brow, brush it up. And I'm gonna do that towards the end of my brow and brush it up. And I'm gonna do it on the top as well, just to give it that real shape and definition. I told y'all this was gonna be a process. And this is why I honestly wake up before the kids get up. When we have to go somewhere, if I know we have to be somewhere by a certain time, I'm up like a few hours earlier. Okay, so brows are not done yet. So next I'm gonna go in with the color Chocolate, and I will link these pencils down below. I got these from Amazon. I forgot how many it came with, but it came with an assortment of colors. And they're actually really good to use as lip liners. I've used them as eyeshadow bases. I've used them as lipsticks, brow. So they're pretty good. So I like to lightly just brush in or draw in this color just to match my brows to my hair. And you can see it like slowly but surely transforming. A little goes a long way, and I'm literally brushing that color in. And I'm next gonna go in with the color, what color is this? Rose brown. So I'm gonna take this and just do the same thing. Just lightly add more color. And once I get it to the desired color, which I think it's there. Yeah, it is. And I'm actually gonna brush it through pretty good because I want a little bit overboard, y'all. Just a little bit. And that's one brow. Boop, boop, boop. So we're gonna do the same with the next brow. We're gonna go in with Chocolate first. And I feel like I went a little bit heavy with that, but you can always go back and fix it and just brush it through and brush some of the product out. So now we're gonna go in with the rose brown. And we're gonna brush that through. I honestly kind of made a mess of doing this. So we're about to clean this up because this looks crazy. This definitely looks crazy. But it is to my liking. So we're going to go in with a foundation that is closer to my skin tone. So I'm going to be using Thread Beauty. It's a foundation stick in the shade Warm, 160 Rich Brown Warm. So I'm going to actually just take some of that on the back of a small eyeshadow brush just to clean up the top. And this is the same foundation that I'm going to be using all over, but I just wanted to clean this up. And I'm going to be using a concealer brush just to blend that out. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Because I'm sorry, if my brows aren't right, then it's not a good makeup day. It's just not. Okay, and now we are going to put in some brow gel. So this is, I absolutely love this brow gel. I remember I misplaced it one day and I literally almost lost my mind because the look, it was just so dang fire. And I could not find this brow gel. I really had a bad day. So this is the Brow Freeze Gel from Anastasia, Beverly Hills. I absolutely love this brow gel. Like, do y'all see this? I do take the excess off. And I'm just gonna brush this into my brows just to kind of lock them in place. And I like how it just gives like that nice, fluffy, natural look to the brow. That's why I absolutely love this gel. I, for the longest, wouldn't really use a brow gel on my brows because my brows are pretty dang unruly sometimes. And when using certain brow gels, they were too oily or wouldn't lay the hairs the correct way. Tried the brow soap, just didn't like anything. But this, if I lose it, I'm having a bad day. Just, that's what it is. I'm having a bad day. So I'm gonna make sure the top is blended evenly. And boom, we are done with the brows. We'll probably come back to them knowing me. So next I am going to color correct. I do have a lot of hyperpigmentation on my face. It's just what life is. I have hyperpigmentation. So I absolutely love this palette. This is the medium deep palette, the Studio Fix Conceal and Correct palette. It has concealers and a corrector in here. I absolutely love this palette. As you can see, I'm hitting pan with the corrector. I'm gonna take some of the product and tap it onto the back of my hand because I do not want to put too much corrector on. And I'm just going to go in the areas where I have hyperpigmentation. So I have a lot of hyperpigmentation on my chin, around my mouth, under my eyes, and right here on the side of my face. So I'm just going to lightly tap in the areas where it needs the most coverage. And this is a very important step for me, necessarily because my hyperpigmentation is, I consider it bad, but it's gotten better over time, But I do know if I skip this step and I'm trying to do a minimal makeup look, that it does take more foundation. And sometimes I just don't want as much foundation on. So this step I literally cannot skip. And I'm just gonna add some here around my mouth and around my nose, because it's just been extremely red right here. And you see how I'm literally only focusing on the areas where I need to color correct. I don't put this all over the place, just in the areas where I necessarily need it. And it does like make a very huge difference, and you guys will see. Because for this particular look, I don't want to put on layers and layers of foundation. So I'm gonna go here. Then also here. This I tend to leave alone because I bring makeup down that far, but I don't really want to put corrector there. And just a little under my eyes. Because these bags, baby, they are there. They are there. What's a mom without having some bags under her eyes? Okay. And then here. So now I'm going to take a small dense concealer brush and I'm gonna blend this in. We are not gonna let it just sit. I am going to blend this in. And I don't know if you can see the difference that it has made, but I'm telling y'all, corrector definitely has changed my looks drastically. Now look at this side compared to this side. Just look. Do you see the difference? It looks so bomb already. And honestly, if I wanted to, I can just put on, I can maybe go in and still spot correct with a concealer that's very close to my skin tone and probably just set my face and go on about my day. Sometimes I do definitely do that when I'm just running errands and I don't want to put on a full face of makeup. And I will definitely be making a video showing you how I do so. But today we are into this mommy on the go glam. So let's just keep blending this out. Blending, blending, blending. And you honestly don't want to drag the brush. You want to tap. Tap, tap, tap. Now these spots that are a lot darker, they are definitely very stubborn. You can still sometimes see necessarily where the hyperpigmentation is, but we're all done with correcting. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of my One Size powder. I have some in my top already. I'm going to just go in with that brush. Take whatever excess, tap it off like so, and just go in and set where I place the corrector. And this is because I don't want the corrector to move. I do not want it to move, especially when applying foundation over. I don't want it to move. So we're just gonna go in and we're gonna set it. And again, for those of you that are looking for a 5 to 10 minute look, you don't have to go through these steps if you don't like to. You can find a foundation that is a little bit, that has more coverage to it, to where you don't have to do the extra step. But this is just something that I do because I don't want to wear a ton of foundation. And I really don't want to do extremely full coverage. So we're not gonna do extremely full coverage. Okay, and we're done. So I am gonna be using the Thread Beauty foundation stick, and this again is in the shade 160 Rich Brown. I absolutely love this, especially when I'm looking to just do something quick and easy, sometimes even if I have to do my makeup in the car. So I'm literally just taking my brush and just applying some of the foundation onto the brush and just applying like so. And I actually do not apply foundation right underneath my eyes because I am going to add, I have to have concealer, and I just don't like a lot of products on my face. I just don't, especially under eye. I don't want that buildup. I want the concealer just to lay nice and flat and be able to blend out easily. So I'm going to definitely not put any foundation underneath my eyes. Okay, foundation is done. So we're gonna move on to concealer next. So I am going to take a foundation brush again, and I'm gonna be using my TooFaced concealer, the Born This Way. I'm gonna actually just take a little bit of it on the back of my hand, and this shade is Honey. I like to use this one because it does have full coverage. It does give me the lift that I need. I don't have to use multiple, because normally I would use multiple concealers, but today we are going to just stick to one. If I feel the need to add a little bit, then I will, of another color, but today we're not doing that, maybe. But I'm gonna just take some of the product off the back of my hand with the brush, and I'm literally going to add some here. And I'm gonna add a little bit here as well. And we're gonna let that sit for a second so it can dry. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Right here in the corner of my eye, on the side of my nose, and then also over here. And we're going to just let that dry down just a tad bit. Just a tad bit, y'all. So while we wait for that to dry, and we're not gonna let it sit for too long because I don't want it to be super dry. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques. This is a setting brush, but I do love to use this to blend out my concealer. So this is what the setting brush looks like. You can never go wrong with the Real Technique brushes. Like, you just can never go wrong with Real Technique brushes. And I'm also gonna use the Deluxe Crease brush, and this is also Real Techniques. So I'm gonna use this one first just to kind of blend out the edges. So I'm gonna start on the outer part, and I'm literally just doing small tapping motions. This I will take my time on because I don't like an under eye that just creases so much. It's gonna crease because it's makeup and because skin is skin, but taking my time just doing this definitely does help it stay in place, and it helps it last a lot longer. So just small tapping motions. And just blend it out, feather it out. And then we're gonna go right underneath the eye. Why do we make this face when blending out underneath our eyes, guys? Like, I'm always worried about what I'm gonna look like on camera, and I'm like, I know I look like an absolute fool doing this, but we gotta get it done, right? So we're gonna blend, 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 and just literally small tapping motions. Do not rush putting on your concealer. When underpainting, I even do the same. And voila, this side compared to this side. So now we're gonna do the same on the other eye. Okay, so concealer's done. Now I'm gonna go in with my Rare Beauty blush. I absolutely love this blush. So for the longest, funny story, so for the longest when I went to the 3 closest Sephora's that were near me, I could not find this shade, and this one is Joy. I could not find the shade, and I wanted this particular shade because I'd actually swatched it in store and fell in love. Could not find it, so when I got my hands on it, I bought 3. So this is still the first one, thank God, that I have not ran through it. I do use it sparingly because I'm like, girl, this is obviously a popular blush, but I absolutely do love this blush. So I'm going to pop just a little bit right here and some right here. And I'm going to be using a blush brush from Real Techniques, and I'm going to be just blending it up. I love this placement because it just gives me that lift that I'm looking for. It gives me that fresh-faced type of feel that I'm looking for whenever I just need to do a quick look. And yes, watching this tutorial, it's not quick, but I'm just showing you step by step how I do everything. Of course, I can do this a lot quicker, but I want to be able to walk through this with you guys. And see? Now we're going to blend out the other side. So next I'm going to be actually adding another blush. I'm going to be using the Ami Collet blush, and this is in the shade the shade Flame. Love this blush. Absolutely love this blush, especially with these two paired together. So I'm just going to use that same brush. I'm going to take some of the blush and put it onto the brush. Brush. Blah. I'm going to be adding it to the high parts of my cheekbones and blending. Now when it comes to blush, baby, I'm going to give the drama, and it doesn't matter if this is a quick look. I'm gonna have blush on. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna have blush on always. Like, blush is my thing. And look, just look at how pretty. Can we have a moment for this blush? Can we have a moment, please? Thank you. Okay. So now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side, girls. Y'all getting it? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Y'all getting it. So we're gonna do the same thing. Add it to the high parts of my cheekbones. And I love to make sure it is blended out properly because I really don't like you to see where it starts and where it ends. But I am gonna go back in, of course, and blend and marry everything together. But do y'all see that blush? Okay, so that same brush earlier that I told you that I was going to use for concealer, this is what it was for. So right here you can see there is a bit of a harsh line. I'm literally just taking that clean brush and I'm just blending out this harsh line right here to make the edges soft and make it blend. No harsh lines around here, okay? No harsh lines, none. So we're blending, blending, blending. We're gonna do the same to the other side. I don't know why I tilt my head down, but I need to stop doing that so you guys can see what's going on right now. Because it's magic. Like when I see the look come together, I'm like, I need to hurry up and get done so I can take pictures because this glam is glamming. And it's glam right now, it's glamming. And it's not even a lot of glam. It's like very, very soft, very, very mild. But I'm loving it. And I haven't worn makeup in like a week. So I'm excited. Okay. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more concealer because I do want a little bit more coverage right here. And again, I'm showing you guys step by step what I would do for my mommy on the go look. You can take bits and pieces of what I am showing you today and make it your own. And this is not just for the mommies. If you are a busy woman that is just on the go 24/7 and you need something simple, easy, and quick to do, this is definitely applicable to you as well. Not just for mommies. It's for the ladies too that's on the go. So we're gonna just blend this out. And as you see, I'm just doing tapping motions back and forth and concentrating in the area where I really would like that coverage. And normally I would use more than one concealer, but again, today this look is not necessary for that. And whatever excess I have left over, I just sweep it onto my lid. No concealer gets left behind. None. So we're gonna do the same on this eye. And you know what's crazy? So I am a professional makeup artist. How I do makeup on myself, I pretty much don't do the same on my clients. Like it's always, especially everybody's face is different, everybody's skin type is different. The way I do makeup on myself is honestly pure madness sometimes. Because sometimes I will start with brows. Sometimes I will do like skin prep. Then I'll put on foundation. Then I'll do brows. I don't know. Every time it's different. Why? I don't know. But it's never in the same order. And I just really don't understand why. I'm trying to change my ways and just keep a balance, but we're gonna get there. So I'm just going in with that same brush that we used from before and just making sure this concealer is blended. And then we're gonna go back in with this brush for the blush. This brush for the blush. And voila. Do you guys like, do y'all like what you're seeing? Because I'm loving it. I am loving it. Okay, so next I am going to clean up my brows just a tad bit. I'm going to be using that same concealer. I'm going to just put a little bit on the back of my hand. Not even a lot, because I don't want them to look super carved out. And I'm going to take some of the product and put it on both sides of the brushes, of the brush. And I'm just going to follow the natural shape of my brow. And this is just to clean it up. And I really don't want this to look extremely carved out, but I do want them to look clean. So you just follow the natural shape of your brow, and normally how you would probably intensely carve out your brow, I am not doing that right now. I'm literally just still carving it out, but not using as much product. We're gonna use that same brush and we're gonna blend it down onto our lid. We're just gonna blend that down like so. Because I don't want a lot of product on the lid. I don't really need a base for eyeshadow today. And see how, do y'all see this? I'm so excited. Like, I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same for this brow. And I know if y'all were looking before and was like, what is going on? What is the method to this madness? Thank you for sticking with me and trusting the process. Just thank you. Because sometimes you really do have to trust the process. And sometimes, like when doing a makeup look, I will not know what my inspo is for myself, not my clients. And I will literally be sitting there like, okay, we're just gonna try something different today. And it's so funny because it's always the same damn look. It's always a soft glam. It's never anything too crazy. But I'm trying to get out of that. I'm trying to push myself to do different looks. And so the brows are nice and cleaned up. We're just gonna blend out that concealer that is on the lid. We're going to take the same brush. We're gonna go back into the same top because I put enough in there to use and tap off the excess. I'm going to set on my lids with this because my lids do get extremely oily and it's actually very, very irritating. Like, it is very irritating. So I do have to set my lids because this will crease and it will look crazy. And this is where I like to use just a very natural color, and I like to use a nice fluffy brush. So we're gonna go in with the Milani palette again. This is the Gilded mini palette, and we are going to use this color right here. It's like a pretty neutral brown. I'm gonna go in with this color and I'm gonna just literally take it across my whole lid, and I'm gonna be using a fluffy blending brush like so. I'm gonna add some of the product, tap off the excess, and I'm literally just sweeping this across my lid. I don't really want anything that's too crazy to define, but I am going to define my crease just a little bit with that shade. And then I'm gonna sweep that same color onto my lid. And you're just gonna go in big back and forth motions, like so, just so you can distribute it all across your lid. Because remember, this is a mommy on the go look, or on the go look. So we don't wanna get sucked into doing a full on look. But I always do like to define my crease just a tad bit. Because then I'll start convincing myself, no, you need to add a little bit more. Girl, just go ahead and just do a full soft glam. No, we're not doing that. We're not here for that today. We are doing an on the go look. So again, sweep that back and forth. And I have light pressure on my hand. I'm not going crazy, and I'm just gonna sweep that onto my lid next. It's easy peasy. You just sweep it onto the lid. And so next I'm gonna go in with this reddish brown color. It's right here. And I'm gonna use that same brush and just to define the crease just a little bit more, I'm literally gonna pop it here on the outer corner like so, and just sweep it into my crease like so. And that's just to give it just a tad bit more definition. You don't have to do this step, but I like to do this when I know I'm not gonna add any shimmer or anything onto my eyes. And just make sure you blend out any harsh lines that you see. So we're gonna go in with that color again. Start on the outer corner and blend inward. And just blend out any harsh lines that you see. Friends, we don't want harsh lines, okay? No harsh lines. I'm literally gonna come and get you. And we're gonna blend out those harsh lines together. No harsh lines, okay? No harsh lines. So, blend it out. I'm loving this. I need to go somewhere after this. Where am I gonna go, y'all? Okay, so next is mascara. So we're gonna be using the Amicole mascara. This mascara is bomb. And this is the Lash-Amplifying mascara. Absolutely love. Absolutely love. So you can take it a step further and put on falsies. I'm going to, because I just like the drama and I just love me a good lash. I can get away with just putting on mascara, but what's life without a little bit of drama? Makeup, not real drama. I really love this mascara. It does not clump. It really does give me like that extra volume that I need, and it separates. I cannot stand mascaras that clump where my lashes do not separate, versus you can go in and separate them yourself, but I'm not doing all that. I don't have time, because what are we doing? We're on the go. Like, just look. Can y'all? Shout out to my mama for the long lashes, though. Shout out to my mama. Okay. And honestly, I might not do... Why am I lying to myself? I'm gonna put on a lash. Okay. And then we're gonna do the same. Okay, so now that mascara is done, we are going to set underneath our eyes. So I like to go back in with that same brush and make sure where it has creased, I like to blend it out, just so when I set, it's technically not setting the creasing. It's gonna crease. It's skin. Skin creases. Skin moves. It's skin. But to avoid the process from happening faster, blend it out. So I'm gonna be using my Velvet Powder Puff. I'm gonna be going in that same top, the one size translucent powder, and I'm gonna be taking the palm of my hand, taking off the excess powder. And I'm gonna go under eye and set. And I took it to the side of my nose as well. Underneath my nose. See how much of that went a long way? Such a long way. We're gonna do the same underneath the other eye. We're just gonna add the rest that's on the powder puff to areas where we feel like we need it. So just to kind of make sure everything is just married in, it's blended in, and it looks seamless, I'm gonna be taking my foundation brush and I'm just going to go back in and kind of just make sure everything is blended. And as you see, I told you I don't put a lot of product on my forehead, but I just like to make sure everything is blended in. I'm not gonna really do any contouring. I'm gonna go back in with my blush brush. There's still product on it. And just with how minimal I applied my foundation, you can still see, like, I have freckles and things underneath my eyes. You can still see some of the freckles. So I do like it to still look as natural as possible. I still want it to have a little bit of dewiness to it, so I don't set my entire face. But if you feel like I'm about to be outside, it's gonna be hot, I need to actually set it, then set it. And I still do go in with the setting spray. So now I'm gonna do my bottom lash. Cannot go without doing my bottom lash. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna do lips. I'm going to be using, what pencil is this? This is the e.l.f. And I love these lip liners. This is the e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Liner. And this is in the shade Dark Cocoa. Okay, so I'm gonna line my lips. I'm gonna be using one of my brand's glosses. And then over top of that, I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil Glimmer Finish. And this is the shade Princess Cut. And I just put this on top. I absolutely love these. Do y'all see this? I'm gonna do my lashes off camera and then I will be back with the final look. Okay, I'm back. So I put my lashes on, and these are my lashes from my brand, 829 Beauty. So the look is complete, but I have to add a little bit of shimmer to the inner corner. It's a must. I have to. So I'm gonna just be taking one of my shadow brushes, and this is the My Kit Co and Danessa Myricks collaboration brush. This is what brush is this? My 24. And I'm gonna be using the Finest Fleck glitter eyeshadow by e.l.f. This is super pretty. I'm just gonna pop just a little bit of this on the inner corner, because we gotta have a little bit of shimmer, just a tad bit. Okay, now we're going to set with my One Size setting spray, and I'm literally using all the stuff out of my makeup bag. So You're crazy if we thought we were only doing this once. One more time. Look is complete. I'm so excited with how this look came out. I hope my step-by-step helped you with your mommy on the go look. And if you have any tips or tricks of your own, definitely comment them down below. I would love to know your tips or tricks. Hopefully you guys love this look, and I'm glad that you guys stayed with me and got through this chaotic process, because I told you guys there's a method to my madness. Thank you very, very much for watching. Definitely come back. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys. Bye, bestie.